Welcome. We're glad you're with us. I'm Sabrina Lowell of Private Ocean. I'm an advisor and managing partner of our San Francisco office.
Hi, I'm Sheila Schroeder. I'm Director of Client Development. I'm often the first person you speak to when you're looking for a financial advisor.
And for those of you who are new to Private Ocean, we're a full service wealth management firm that focuses both on financial planning and investment management. We work with families and individuals, and we partner with our clients to help them make better decisions about their money. So, as folks are home during the shelter in place, one of the questions I often get is what should we be doing in regards to our finances during this time? Beyond having a solid financial foundation in place, I always ask, when was the last time you had a money date? And you might be asking, what's a money date? Well, that's what we'll be talking about today.
So, Sabrina, what is a money date?
Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. So, it's kind of like a date night, but to talk about finances. So, this can be on your own or with a partner. I always say a money date helps facilitate being purposeful and proactive about your finances. So, for example, if you're running a marathon, that's not a one time event. You're probably going to be doing a lot of practice runs leading up to that big event. Same thing with your finances. Money dates can be periodic check ins to make sure you're still on track, or maybe determine are there changes that could be needed. And if you have a partner, it's also a great way to keep lines of communication open, especially during times of change or transition like many people are experiencing right now. I say think about your finances like your own personal business. So, on an ongoing basis, a money date is an opportunity to recalibrate, incorporating short term actions and conditions that may impact your long term financial roadmap. So, what's included? Well, I always say keep it short. So set a specific time frame and put it on the calendar and then stick to that particular time frame. Also decide what's going to be on the agenda to be discussed and stick to that. Formality makes it more efficient and effective, and if you're doing it with a partner, that way you're both on the same page, literally. The other piece is considering how frequently might you want to have these money dates. So for some people, that might be once a month, checking in around income, expenses, and other pieces that may be on the horizon and having a more regular calibration. And for others, it's maybe quarterly. And finally, I say create an agenda for this particular money date. We'll actually have a copy of a sample agenda on our website, so stay tuned or take a peek for that. And finally, at the end, do something to reward yourself. Um, Something that you really enjoy, like going out for a walk, maybe cooking a tasty meal, or having a nice glass of wine. It creates that Pavlovian response so that you're looking forward to that for next time.
That's great, Sabrina. I would add in any relationship, one person is more often involved in taking the lead. So whether that person is the person who handles all, figures out the vacations or somebody does more meal planning. But if one of the partners steps out of the relationship due to death or divorce, the remaining partner can probably figure out how to plan their next holiday or find their next meal. With money, having some shared knowledge, especially if there's a change, is so crucial. And we're here today to suggest ways to be mutually involved. And I think that's really the basis of it.
Yeah, speaking of the benefits of a money date, what do you foresee are the benefits of having money dates, Sheila?
Well, let me tell you a story about my first money date. I'm in a mixed marriage. I'm a Protestant Midwesterner, and my husband is a Catholic from upstate New York. And if you want to get married in the Catholic Church, you have to do something called pre-Cana. And essentially, pre-Cana is marriage planning, premarital planning. And pre-Cana marriage prep is all about opening a dialogue and discussing topics that are a good idea to discuss before you get married. That includes finances, children, career, faith, pretty normal stuff. And I will admit, full disclosure, I was a little resistant at first, but I found it really valuable and interesting. And I was surprised how much time they spent on finances. And when I look back, it was very much one of our first money dates, and it created a roadmap and instructions so that we could continue to have that conversation throughout our lives. And as a result of getting on the same page, my husband and I have never had an argument about money. Now, of course, we have arguments about other things, but that's a different podcast. So, Sabrina, I want to ask you, do one question I get all the time is, do people really have money dates?
The answer is yes. Um, it was funny. I was compiling an ebook for couples and money a few years back, and my editor, aka my husband, was reading through some of the articles that had referenced money dates, and he's reading along and he kind of turns to me and says, "These money dates, do people really have them?" And I looked at him and I thought, "Well, yeah, we have money dates. We talk about money." And what I realized, going back to that formality that I was mentioning earlier, while we would have conversations about money, I wasn't necessarily setting the time aside specifically to talk about the various money topics. And so it was almost like drive-by financial planning. I'd be walking, in from work, and he'd be walking to go make dinner, and I'd be asking something around money. So in my mind, we were having those conversations. And what it meant for us was the evolution of being more, again, more purposeful, setting this time aside, sitting down and following an agenda in order to discuss money. And so that's exactly what I recommend for clients to do throughout the year, as well as they structure their money dates. And then having somebody to check in on that, right? So I'll oftentimes check in with clients afterwards and ask them, how'd the money date go? Just to have that accountability factor.
Well, thank you for that. I know we schedule money dates as well, and we find it really helpful. Another question I have for you, as one of our certified coaches, how does your experience as a coach inform your work as an advisor?
Yeah, one of the pieces about getting certified as a coach, and we have three certified coaches on staff, isn't because we're starting a coaching business or practice, but because we think that it's a critical skill to have in the financial planning process, i.e., we're helping clients to figure out what are their goals and define those, then determining where are they currently, where do they want to go, and then what are going to be the specific steps and helping coach them through those in order to get to that end goal. So that's how we're really incorporating coaching within the financial planning framework. I'd also say for folks out there, if you're embarking on a money date, how might you incorporate some of the coaching skills? So, one of them, a coaching principle, is called NCRW. So, it's naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. And by holding somebody in this space that everybody is naturally creative, resourceful, and whole, is really assuming the best both about yourself and your partner, and that you're the expert on your life. So as you go through a money date, because money conversations can be tough, having that in mind as a framework can help you harness your expertise as the expert on your life in having those conversations. And I think the final way and that we probably incorporate coaching into our financial planning with clients is it can help us navigate conversations with clients around money scripts. So these are essentially the belief systems that you grew up with that influence your relationship around money. So what was your first money memory? And how does that impact your day around money? So when we're working with clients, we're not just working with an individual or a couple. We may be working more like with six people, right? Two sets of
Right.
parents, and maybe even grandparents or other close relationships that influence how you think about and approach money today. So part of this is around money scripts is first acknowledging which beliefs are serving you really well and which beliefs maybe aren't serving you as well and that you want to shift away from. So, Sheila, um, why do you think now is a good time to have a money date?
Well, thanks for asking. I love hearing what you're saying. It's all so empowering. And I think now more than ever, this crisis is causing stress on many levels, even for the best relationships. If you're on the same page as your partner with shared goals, if you know where all the financial documents are, if you can comfortably talk about money, it's just one less thing to be stressed out about. And being aligned in your financial life really helps create peace of mind. We have 18 certified financial planners, 3 certified coaches, and a deep investment team. We are here to help.
Mm. Thanks, Sheila.
Thanks, Sabrina. Be well.